is being streamed live. Look for the chat box on the side or bottom of the video player. This is where you can type your message. Click inside the chat box and use your keyboard to type out what you want to say. You can type words, use emojis, or even ask questions. Once you've typed your message, press the Enter key on your keyboard or click the Send button. Your comment will then appear in the chat for everyone watching the live stream to see. If you want to send another comment, just type it in the chat box again and press Enter or Send. Your new comment will show up below your previous one.
And colleagues can see the podcast at any time on YouTube. Remember, in addition to the comments you can make here, about which you were just briefed during this live broadcast, feel free to send comments too by WhatsApp to 876-503-9995. That's 503-9995. We, seniors ourselves, have been focusing on some of the issues elderly people face in Jamaica. And those issues are many. We could not discount, however, that while many moan and gripe and describe the problem, one woman created an organization that is tackling some of those very issues and concepts. Lowrie Chin is the founder and executive chair of the Caribbean Community of Retired Persons, CCRP, that last month held its 14th annual general meeting. We are happy to have her as our special guest today. There are other mundane matters, of course, that affect how we live in Jamaica, including the Integrity Commission, including we are faced with all the time the filthy state of our public places, particularly our public bathrooms, and the reticence or more to use technology, as Winnie will tell us. Winnie Anderson-Brown, Mary Grange, and Desmond Richards are our regular contributors on the podcast today. Lowrie Chin is an author, a communications expert and consultant, a public relations practitioner and leader, and many more. In the latter part of her professional career, she started CCRP, which is the foremost such organization in Jamaica, and the Caribbean. Jean, welcome. Please tell us about CCRP.
Thank you so much for having me, Franklin. But first, let me congratulate you, Franklin. We have been journeying for decades. From you were the editor at The Gleaner, and now you are a trustee of the Press Association of Jamaica. You are on various programs, and now you have created your own online program. And, you know, Franklin, you have really contributed so much to the development of journalism. And I remember your guidance even in those days, and you continue to guide. You. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Right. So CCRP, actually, it was when our company, Procom, celebrated our 30th anniversary that we said, you know, we really need to do something, do a legacy project. And when we thought about who contributed to our company, it was really seniors. It was my mother, my first investor. It was people like Beth Jacobs, who was a mentor, Wycliffe Bennett, Merrick Needham, Fred Wilmot. And I said, let me see if I can do something for Jamaica's seniors. And that's how it started. So we decided we were going to keep the membership fee very low because we wanted to be inclusive. And therefore, from then until now, to join, you pay 2,500 Jamaican dollars, which covers your registration in your first year. And to renew, you pay 2,000 Jamaican dollars. And therefore, we have people who are of every walk of life as CCRP members. We have entrepreneurs, we have professors, we have household workers, we have teachers, nurses. And the whole message is all of us are going to get there one day. Some of us have got there already and are seniors. And we need to come together and to be a strong force of advocacy to ensure that we are not left behind. One of my friends who had retired said to me, Jean, it was as if I had suddenly become invisible. And these are the people who have built the country. They've built their families, they've built companies, communities, they've taught national leaders, they have nursed so many people to health, and now they feel left behind. So we decided, you know what? We're going to ensure that these people are never forgotten. So CCRP was started with 3 missions, right? And that is to work towards ensuring that the vast talent and experience and wisdom of seniors will be respected, to ensure that our seniors enjoy the quality of life that they deserve, and to empower our seniors to continue contributing. And so, towards this end, we actually started to um, mention the skills that exist among our membership. And you'd be surprised how many people come to us now to ask us to post jobs. And the people who have asked us to post jobs, our seniors who they're not interested in 9 to 5 anymore. But these are people who are experienced, professional, good ethics. And so the feedback that we have got has been tremendous. So we've been placing a lot of our retired people in good jobs. Um, Also, we recently had our annual general meeting, as you mentioned, Franklin, and we now have a membership of over 12,000. I mean, one of the things that really pushed our membership
12,000 as a membership.
12,000, over 12,000, and 12,100
Wow.
something. Yes.
Yeah.
I think what really pushed it was when we were approached by Gallagher Insurance Brokers in 2019 to offer us a seniors insurance underwritten by Sagicor. God bless them. Because remember, with the normal health insurances, once you get to 60 or 65, you are no longer able to continue or you cannot apply. So with the CCRP Sagicor insurance, you can apply up to 80 years old. And once you're approved and you pay your premium, you will be covered for the rest of your life. Whether you get live to 110 or 120, you are guaranteed coverage. So this has been a boon for our members, many of whom had been kicked off their original insurance and now they were able to go on. And we actually have another insurance company that has expressed interest in coming on. And just as they do in AARP, they have various insurance companies so that members can have options. We should be announcing a new plan. Now, I can't talk about us without talking about the National Council for Senior Citizens because we collaborate deeply with them. They are a very caring government agency under the Ministry of Labor and Social Security. So, for example, when we had to do outreach for Hurricane Beryl and go to St. Elizabeth, we had gathered we commit every year we commit $900,000 for outreach. So our first outreach is in June, and that was just a month before Beryl hit in July. So those funds went directly to St. Elizabeth, but we didn't have enough personnel to distribute the care packages, and therefore the National Council assisted us. Then we appealed to Sandals. Sanders gave us 100 sets of towels and sheets. And again, the National Council said, Mrs. Chin, we got mattresses, but we did not get any linen. So they were so happy and they distributed that linen as well. After that, now, realizing what we saw when we toured St. Elizabeth and Mandeville, we realized we had to do more for the elders who had suffered from burial. So we put on an NDTC benefit, and we were able to raise, after we paid all our fees, we were able to raise $790,000. So as a result of that, we are now working with the Food for the Poor to do some roof repairs with those funds, because as we committed, that all those funds go for burial relief, and so we're doing that. Now,
Oh,
we also,
well, Jean, we are more than, well, I'm certainly more than impressed by the work that goes on with CCRP. Desmond, let me tell you, I'm a member, and that point, and I'm sure the executive chair is going to go look tomorrow to see if my thing is paid up, so I will go and make sure that. But when that insurance came about, that's when I got onto it. But that insurance, those insurance premiums, though, have gone up significantly, and so it takes me to two questions. How are seniors faring with that insurance now? And two, what are your thoughts on what's available to seniors in Jamaica in the health services?
well, first, I have to thank the NHF, the National Health Fund, because the National Health Fund has now added more medications for various illnesses. And we had gone to them. We had gone to them with 5. We actually sat down with Mr. Everton Anderson, who is a very compassionate gentleman, the CEO of National Health Fund. And out of that meeting, I have to say that out of the 5 we asked for, we got new treatments for colorectal cancer, Parkinson's disease, and thyroid cancer. And that was as part of our advocacy. So from that point of view, and the National Health Fund is very, very efficient. So I am appealing to people who have any chronic conditions, go get your card. And once you get to 65, then it is combined with JADEP. So imagine you can get all your blood pressure medicine for 40 Jamaican dollars. Your diabetes medicine, 40 Jamaican dollars every month. So, I mean, I cannot complain about the medication side of things. On top of that, now, of course, cancer medicine is very expensive. And we have collaborated now with CariMed, who bring in cancer medication. And on a confidential basis, we advise the name of the person and their contact who require. And then the nurse and the pharmacist at CariMed will help them with reduced prices.
Sorry, explain that there for us.
So somebody has cancer.
And who's a member?
A member of CCRP has cancer.
Yes.
And the medication is very expensive. They call us. They call us and they say, listen, I have a condition. I need help. And then we refer them confidentially to CariMed. And CariMed has been giving them good discounted medication. That is
Lowrie, when you look at your organization is doing a wonderful job, I must say that. But the question is, when you look at the Jamaica, how would you describe how we treat the elderly in Jamaica?
Well, Desmond, that we includes us right here, the children, the grandchildren, the church community, as well as the government. And one of the things that we have been advocating for, I mean, it's been in the press, we have been on the radio talking about it, is that we need stronger legislation to protect the elderly. And my colleagues at the National Council also feel the same way. So we have actually got together, written to the ministry, met with various ministers, And we're now hearing that there is a working group ready to meet and that we will be included, because elder abuse is a problem. And until we put some teeth into laws to protect our elderly, it will continue. You have physical abuse, you have financial abuse,
Yes.
psychological abuse,
Yes.
people feeling so isolated. Neglect is a form of abuse. And sad to say, you have sexual abuse.
Wow.
One of our parish representatives, every parish has a representative now for CCRP. They are the eyes and ears of CCRP. And they live near this woman. A report was given where this poor woman in her 80s had been raped. And we were
Yeah.
able to bring on food for the poor and poor relief. And our representative oversaw that this lady's house was grilled, that the locks were changed, and now have a system of visitation for her. But I mean, you have some cruel people in society. And I also tell our young professionals who are in charge of their parents' health. And I mean, God bless certain people that I know who make sure that they come in and they pay for it. I have to call her name, Empress. Empress is, she come in, she makes sure that her parents are registered. She makes sure that their health insurance, sadly, she lost her mom recently. But she makes sure her dad is covered and so on. Because listen, when you're a young professional and you look like you're doing well and you're flashy, but you have your mortgage, you have your car payments, and if your parents have a serious illness, then it is going to affect everybody's income, everybody's situation. So I say to them, instead of saying that the insurance is too expensive, now it is 91,000 for major medical per annum. But that 91,000 can cover you for surgery up to $9 million. And if your parents don't have that $91,000 insurance, you are going to have to find that how many $1,000,000. So yes, people are on pension and they don't have it, but they have relatives. They have people that they have raised. Sometimes they have children in a whole community that they have raised. I
Very
think people
important.
can
Very
check.
important point. Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry?
No, I'm saying it's a very important point and a very important support point for those seniors who can't afford it.
Yes. Yes. That there are people that they have done so much for, and the least they can do is make sure that they are covered with this health insurance.
What would you say is the biggest, when you assess, when you look back on and you go through everything, what would you say is the biggest thing CCRP has done so far for seniors?
I would say it's because we have created a community of support. They know they can come to us. They can call us. We get so many calls about abuse. Oh my gosh, a lady called us from abroad. She said that she kept sending money to her sister to take care of her mother. And her sister had now taken up with this man who was taking away the money. And we were able to get the police involved, and bring justice for that family. So I would say that we are a go-to organization now for persons who have various problems that they need to be addressed. We also have excursions every month, so people can go out and enjoy themselves. Those excursions are charged separately, but our socials are free for our members. And those members get together, they have so much fun, they're left isolated. So what we try to do is create this community for them that they know we're there for them. And sometimes they buck up schoolmates that they were at school with for like 50 years ago that they had not seen. And it is so much fun and laughter when they start imitating teachers and all of that. So it's a lovely community. And then the discount partners, we have over 100 discount partners. So economically, this also helps our membership.
And those discount partners are in what areas? In other words, people who are offering discounts to people who are your members.
They are medical, like Quartz Optical, which is throughout the island, Fontana Pharmacy throughout the island, Edgechem, Sherwin Williams, and they're also throughout the island. We have pharmacies, independent pharmacies in Montego Bay and Johnson's in Mandeville. We have doctors, dentists, spas, florists, and interestingly enough, Bert's Auto, who give 15%. And if you go to buy a part for your car, you get a 15% discount. That's more than your $2,000 membership fee. So a wide variety. They are on our website. The other thing we have done is we have researched nursing homes. So if you go on our website, you will see nursing homes all over Jamaica, what they offer, and some of them offer daycare. Recently we heard about Mona Wellness opening a daycare in Montego Bay. But there are several other nursing homes right here in Kingston and in other parishes which offer daycare.
And the ones that you list are ones you are endorsing, or you're saying you're satisfied with the standards?
More or less, but we still have a disclaimer that we want the relatives of the person to go and visit and satisfy themselves that this is a suitable place for them. But it leads me to remind people, that there is always an opportunity in every situation. So now that our population is growing, there is an opportunity to have services that will cater to this population, right? And some of these nursing homes some of them promote independent living, like the Methodist home that is in the Papine area, University Crescent. People can still come and go. They live there, their meals are provided, but they can have a more independent way of living. They're not like convalescing. So there are various levels of care homes in Jamaica now.
One of the areas that contains that Desmond. One of the areas that seniors complain about is the transport, this transport system in Jamaica. You complain about it a lot. Do you get any of those complaints, and what are possibilities as far as you're seeing in CCRP?
Well, remember, through the National Council, they can get their ID, and they can get their this ID will give them a much reduced discounted fare on the JUTC buses.
JUTC bus cards.
Right, the JUTC bus cards, right? Yeah. And there are several, in our discount partners, there are several people who offer transportation, including one that has a special vehicle for wheelchair patients. So again, those people are now discounted for CCRP members.
That's good. But those are mainly in Kingston and St. Andrew, right?
Yes. Unfortunately, they are mainly in Kingston and St. Andrew. There's a new one coming on. It's really more like medical and ambulance and so on, that just joined as a discount partner. And that one is island-wide. So I just encourage people to go to the website, which is simple to remember, ccrponline.org. Just go there. You will see the whole list of discount partners, and you will realize that, yes, aging does bring a lot of expense, but you can save quite a bit by just paying that $2,000 membership fee a year and plugging into all of these opportunities that we offer our members.
And since you are there, how do people become? What are the contacts now for people becoming members? Because I think you have a network of the country.
Right. So we have an office on Dome Street in Montego Bay at the Unity Church of Montego Bay. We have one at the Chamber of Commerce in Ocho Rios, and we have one at Global Travel Service in Mandeville Plaza, right? And if they go to our website, They will see the opening hours and they'll see all the contact numbers. And our head office is at 2 Phoenix Avenue, second floor. And they also can just go online, download the membership form, fill it out, pay online for their membership. They don't have to go anywhere. They can just pay online for their membership. Once they are a member, they get all the information. Franklin, you know, right? You get all this information every
That's
week
right.
about
right.
seminars, about outings, about, so many things that are going on. We just got
Programs about outings, trips, all sorts of things you get.
Yes, there's
But
a
I'd love to know.
dementia seminar coming up free of charge. Those things are free.
Yes.
You go to these seminars
Webinars,
on
etc.
dementia, all sorts of opportunities that people now come to us. They know that they can depend on us to put out this information and that they can turn around and help our folks. And another thing I want to say is we have lowered the age to 40, because people need to start planning early for their retirement. And we have been getting more people in their 40s joining CCRP and enjoying the benefits as well.
Wonderful. That's the way Desmond, that's the way you can get to join,
I must
You're always complaining that they're above your head, but now they're right on your toes.
Yeah, Desmond. We'll lower the age to 40. You can join now.
I must
wanted to ask you.
I must speak.
Go ahead. Sorry, Desmond. Go ahead.
Yes.
No. I know about the organization, I know about it, right? And I am not a member, but I know about it, and I've been following its work. But I didn't know that it has grown so significantly, 12,000 members. And are you planning to expand your operations in the Caribbean, Lowrie?
Well, we really want to expand it in the diaspora. That is where we want to go. Because when we talk to Jamaicans abroad, they want to help the elderly. And the outreach side, what we're doing now is really a dent, because our elderly poor need so much assistance. They need so much assistance. As much as we say we put aside this money, it's really just a dent. So from the diaspora membership, what we want them to do is to assist us in reaching out to the indigent elderly. Yes.
Yes, of course.
And I just want to say a quick big up, can I, to our board?
Please.
Okay.
Please, go ahead.
All right. So our board members are Vilma McDonald, Patricia Reedwall, our emeritus Alun Asambo, Dr. Owen James, who is based in Mandeville, Warren McDonald, well-known entrepreneur, Sethuraman Kumar, who is a chartered accountant, and Dennis Jones, who is a retired economist, and Peter Mays, who is an attorney at law. And so we have a very strong board. They keep me on my toes. Oh, and yes, I must mention our honorary folks. Let's go back up a little, because Sir Kenneth has been a very wise guide for us, and he is an honorary director. Then Denise Eldemar Shearer is our honorary chair, and of course our patron is the Governor General, Sir Patrick Allen. But the ones who are in our meetings every week, they are the ones that you had scrolled down to. They are wise and generous, and as I say, they keep me on my toes, which is good, because no organization can run without a good board and a good team. And I also have to big up our membership coordinator, our development officer, and all the members of staff of PROCOM who are just roped into working also for CCRP.
Beautiful. All right. Just before we go, Lynn, I don't know if,
no, I need to say something. I've been trying.
Go ahead, Winnie.
Yes, Winnie.
Yes, because I'm happy to see how the organization has grown, because I remember when it started and I recruited a number of persons. those days, yes,
Thank
those
you.
days, it was only Kingston.
Yeah, right.
And I'm happy to see how things have grown. When I left the city, I left my membership behind, but
Oh
I need
no.
to catch up.
But
Yes.
you can catch it on. You're in the middle of the country, so you
Yes,
can
so
catch it
I have
in Mandeville.
recruited a number of persons because it was such a great idea. When I heard it at first, I said, wow, that is wonderful. And it started at 55. I'm happy that it's down to 40. So now I
Yes.
can recruit many more persons. And because it's island wide, many
Yeah.
more persons. And some of those that I recruited are still there.
Wonderful. Yes.
All
Thank
right,
you
so
so
just
much.
before you go, Jean, I'd love to ask you, volunteerism. Are your members? Do you direct your members to do any volunteer work? Are they called upon? You mentioned at the start, at the top, and I see those where you offer part-time employment. You put some jobs out there and ask people to apply because people have reached you. Because a lot of people who are retired are experts and have a lot of knowledge in their area. But to volunteer now, do you?
Yes, we have been talking with the Multicare Foundation about mentorship. So we have linked our members to the Multicare Foundation because they have a whole training for mentorship. And then they will assign some of our members who are willing to become mentors for young people. But also we have a caring committee, which is headed by Mrs. Seymour, Mrs. Velma Seymour. And they go out, they do some of the outreach, take the care packages out. And we have an ambassador, Joan McDonald. And she, last week, for example, one of our members was 100 years old, and she took out a basket and visited with her. So we do that sort of thing as well. Yes.
Wonderful. And
Great.
we need
So
to pay attention to the comments. Franklin. Robert says, really happy to learn of this organization. I will certainly be in touch. So we're very happy for that. There are other comments as well. Good afternoon, Robian Forbes, who is usually with us. Let me see if there's any more. There's another. Yes. This is awesome news indeed, says Mom.
Thank
So
you.
I really wanted you to hear that, Jean. People are very happy because this is wonderful news. It's not like the challenges that we have had to be talking about from 2 weeks.
Oh, we just have to ask you this one as Winnie mentioned challenges. What's the position of CCRP on the life certificates? What could I forgotten?
On the life certificate, yes. We have been saying to them, why does it have to be every 3 months? Why can't it be every 6 months instead? Because it is so burdensome. And what they have said is that they are, as you notice, they are now going to try to do as much of it online as possible. But still, some people are just not
Why do they
online.
say they need it? Can you just tell us why do they say they need it?
Oh, they say they need it because there are people, again, people who are dishonest. Their relative would have died and they would still be picking up their pension.
Well,
and this is why they needed life certificate.
In this day and age, Jean, they need to link the departments. That's what they need to do. Nobody should be presumed dead unless somebody reports that you're alive.
Exactly.
That is a problem. And this month in particular, this October 31st,
yes,
the last one should go in, they have had a problem. There are a number of Jamaicans number of elderly persons who have not received the death certificate after writing and calling and what have you. So it is a problem, a serious problem. And the penalty is you are dead. Even if you go there, you are dead. Not all persons who are on pension are in the same category. Some people have to be pushed in wheelchairs. It affects everybody. a way must be found to make sure that they stop doing this to the elderly.
I've been
Presume
getting
dead.
a lot of complaints about it, a lot of complaints. And as you say, now that we say that we have eGov and all these
Yes.
departments are supposed to be linked online. So if somebody has died, the RGD would have had that noted, and
Absolutely.
then they could just check it instead of harassing people.
And the
Um,
police, they know if someone is missing for a period of time. So it's time to link the systems. I was talking to someone this
we are
afternoon.
making a note of this, because
Yes,
it's something I'm going to
please.
call
Yes,
for.
please. It's something that I feel very strongly about.
Yes.
Because I believe about 15 years ago, when it was brought to my attention, I said, this is wrong. You cannot presume people dead unless somebody says they are alive. That's not right.
Yes.
Something is wrong with that. And people complain of how they feel when they have to do that. And the nervousness when they don't get the certificate. And you know what happens next? They
Yes.
won't get the little money that they are supposed to get. So it is a sore point. And I am happy that I can talk to you in this forum because I wanted to reach out to you and ask that question because it's something that I feel very strongly about.
Well, Winnie, I appreciate this. I appreciate it's something that we have been getting complaints about. Even one of our members of staff, he says every time he goes to get this life certificate for his mother, it's quite a process. So, if we say that we are gone up in the digital world and you hear all of these politicians talking about digital, why are we not applying it to something as important as this? So this is something that we're going to work on.
Yes, and even now, if they send it online, you cannot fill it out and then have it signed and scanned and sent back to them. They do not accept it like that. So, although they may send it online, they have had a problem for this particular month, though, because there are so many persons who have complained, and I couldn't get them, but I got somebody one day during last week, and he explained that they were having a challenge. So they need to do something about this particular quarter ending the 31st. They need to do something.
This quarter.
Not every quarter. No.
And
Thank you very much, Winnie.
also, if a pensioner has been, if they had paid their NIS up to the end
Yes.
of August, they are also able to get that reverse income tax with $20,000. And I saw somebody posted that somebody she knew, she applied, I think it was her mother, and they said she couldn't get it. And she called the income tax department and they gave her some information and said, apply again. And her mother got through.
What about domestic helpers? Are they
Domestic
able to?
helpers are included. Once they have been paying their NIS, they are included.
That's what I know. What about those who have retired? They should be included as well.
Well, this lady is a pensioner and she was able to get in. A pensioner was able to get in. Yeah.
Yes, and this person, I called on behalf of someone and I was told that because she's getting a pension, she's not entitled to it. So
well, this lady said she applied for her, I think it's her mother, and she got it. So I think I should encourage people to check with the tax department to make sure.
Yes, and check with the finance ministry.
Check with them to make sure. But I do know that anybody who is in the NIS, and this is why, I'm encouraging people who have household workers to ensure that they have their NIS card.
Yes.
And that it is paid up.
Yes.
Because this is something now they could get that $20,000. It would mean so much to them.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Yes.
We want to thank Jean Lowrie Chin for the for being with us today as our guest, and thank her particularly for the formation of CCRP and the work that they do and building that community of seniors, of retired people, and not only retired people, but of seniors, of people now open, membership now open from 40, and the work that has gone into it. But Jean, we expected no less than you from you, because you have proven over the years your entrepreneurship, your organization, and your great character. And so we thank you again and wish the CCRP all the best, and keep doing the work. And help us to fight that life certificate presumed dead.
Yes, I'll have to work
hard.
Thank
you very much.
Yes, thank you. Have a good evening, everyone.
Thank you, Jean. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Well, we've run over a bit. What an interesting conversation.
But that's fine.
With a remarkable woman of true character and integrity.
May we have some more comments?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes.
Please go ahead, Winnie.
Please help me. Yes, Marva says, really happy to learn of this organization. We read that one. I will certainly be in touch. There's a new one, Rubian Forbes. I applaud you, Mrs. Lowrie Chin. And Marva says, this is very burdensome for the elderly and needs to be abolished. I read that because, yes. And Nate says, after paying NIS for more than 30 years, the pension is next to nothing. That's another matter to raise in another.
Big issue that.
Yes.
Big issue that.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's it for comments, if I have it right. And we thank you all for commenting and appreciate your comments. Yes.
And we still take your comments as we go along. And you can still add to the channel. Now, Desmond.
Yes, sir.
You are saying you are not letting the Integrity Commission issues go. So your time. Go ahead.
No, well, I am appealing to media, all well-thinking Jamaicans, to keep their attention and focus on the Integrity Commission. The other thing that I would like to see, now that the court, I would like the judicial system, the court, to advance, fast forward this lawsuit.
You mean the Prime Minister's?
Yes.
Prime Minister. Yeah.
Yes. I would urge the court to speed it up.
Yeah.
Let us get the court to go through this lawsuit and come to a verdict. We want a verdict. The Prime Minister is being.
When you say a verdict, it's not a verdict in the classic sense of
whether it is whatever the court find, whatever the verdict the court find, yes. Because we are dissatisfied with a situation where our Prime Minister is being investigated for illicit enrichment. That is totally unacceptable. And we want to know the truth, because our head of state cannot be
head of government.
Yes, head of government, right? Our head of government cannot be someone who is being probed for illicit enrichment. That is a very bad sign, a very bad example for the country.
Desmond, all I'd say again on that is that an investigation does not suggest or should not presume guilt. In our society and in these societies, which go by the rule of law as a fundamental principle. An investigation of me for anything should not presume guilt or innocent, but should not presume guilt. And an investigation of anyone.
Yes, but but the point I am making is that it is a very bad thing for the Prime Minister to to be investigated for that. Whether he is innocent or not, that is not a good thing for the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is the number one citizen, the number one servant. He ought not to be under investigation for illicit enrichment. It is not a good sign.
Marva Hewitt is agreeing with you, Desmond.
Yeah. So,
All right.
we want those things to be brought, as fast as possible so that we can have clear results.
Okay. All right. Well, I really want to thank all of you, our viewers, listeners, viewers, for being with us this evening. This afternoon, sorry, I had intended to make some comments, and we'll get there because those things, the filthy state of our restrooms, the state of our markets, the failure of the local authorities, the municipal corporations, we're going to get there. Special thanks again to Lowrie Chin, founder and executive chair of CCRP. On behalf of technical producer Joshua Black, media services presenters Desmond Richards, Winnie Anderson Brown, Mary was not with us this week. I'm Franklin McKnight. Until then, thank you.